Hello there, Melissa Lemon here. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm sharing videos about my personal experience with anxiety this month, and today I wanted to talk about maybe just slipped my mind because that happens sometimes. So today I wanted to talk about the power of stillness. And anxiety is so hard. It's so hard to have that constant barrage of thoughts and emotions just kind of going all the time and circling round and round and all the things, and it becomes very loud. Even though it isn't loud, it's inside of us, it feels very loud. And often people with anxiety will get to the point where when they hear a loud noise, they'll have a panic attack, or being woken up suddenly can cause an instant panic attack. And I think it's because we kind of live in this space of loudness, even though, to the outside world it seems quiet. Inside of our heads and inside of our hearts may be very loud, as there's like just constant thoughts and things going on all the time, triggers firing on all pistons, all these things. And it can be really hard. And we live in a busy, noisy world anyway. And so something that is so important is just finding time to be still. And I'm going to share with you, for me personally, when I started trying to have stillness, it felt impossible. It felt impossible to turn my thoughts off. It felt impossible to just sit and focus on my breath. And you know what? We just have to keep at it because we can learn to do anything. If we try hard enough and if we practice enough, we can become an expert or a master in anything. That is the reality. So even though it's hard at first, I would really encourage people to practice stillness. And just a few examples of things you can do, maybe lying down. And in the beginning, the goal would be to still the mind. And so mindfulness is so important, and taking that breath and having a more of a body experience more than a head experience. So focusing on breathing, focusing on any body sensations we might be having. You could actually do some self-massage or something to help pull the awareness outside of the thought realm and into the physical body realm. What is the physical body doing? The breathing, any pains or things that come up, just taking note and just kind of breaking that cycle of the thoughts that just fire all the time. So that is something that I recommend doing. Another thing I recommend doing, which might sound strange because it involves sound, but finding really peaceful music to listen to, I think, can be super helpful. I personally love classical music. You have to find the right classical music because not every classical piece is going to make somebody feel calm, but maybe finding the right composer or the right period or the right instruments that are being used, but having very still music in the background can be a really powerful thing. This just came to my memory. I totally forgot about this. When I first started kind of treating my anxiety, and I don't really remember if it was before or after I started therapy, but it was like I just knew I was so tense and I just needed something to help me relax. And so I bought a CD player and I bought some calming CDs, and I would just go to sleep listening to calm, peaceful music. And that was something that was really helpful for me for a long time. I did that for a long time, months, maybe even years. It was a really good thing to do. So another thing I think to help create stillness in our life is to eliminate some of the busyness in our lives. Our lives can be jam-packed, and often people that have anxiety might have, also struggle with poor boundaries, which means our schedules might be more packed than other people's schedules or everybody else's schedules because, there might be a difficulty in saying no or or something like that. And so just learning to cut back our schedule as much as we need to. So for some people that might be nothing. Maybe your schedule is just perfect. For some people that might look like, evaluating your schedule and your busyness and cutting out 1 or 2 things from your lives. For some people, that might look like cutting almost everything off your plate. And, you just kind of have to tune in and figure out what's best for you. I know there were times, I'll just give this example. Something I've become aware of recently is my alarms in my phone aren't causing me stress and overwhelm. So I can go into my calendar on my phone and see that I have 15 things and not feel overwhelmed. But there was a time in my life where having more than like two to 5 things in there was causing massive amounts of overwhelm and shutdown. And I actually, like, the year 2020, when things kind of shut down, was like one of the best things in the world for me. Because I was like, oh, I got to just be home with my kids. We would go on drives. We would go for walks. We would, we got puppies, which maybe wasn't cutting something off my plate, but it actually was just really healing for me, I think, to take that time to just not go anywhere and to stop going places and to cut things out of my schedule. And so that is something I would really encourage people to do as well. And another thing that's really important in stillness, I think, is nature, and I will say also elevation. The higher we can get away, the higher into the mountains we can get, the better, because the higher we get, the more still it is. And so I think that is a really important thing. We just need nature. We need to be in nature. We need to be away from, I don't think we were meant to to be in such densely populated areas. I don't think that's actually very good for any of us. I know some people kind of thrive in that environment, but for me, like, going to the mountains and even just, it's like the farther away I get, the better I feel. I'm just like, seriously, I'm probably going to go get in my car after this video and go drive up the canyon or something. And I know some people don't live by the mountains, so what will work for you. Even laying down and maybe kind of visualizing that you're going up to the mountains, maybe turning off your phone and making sure it's not going to bother you for a time. Maybe going somewhere, just alone and turning off the phone and making sure nobody's going to contact you and just kind of have that stillness. I also love sitting and listening to like water. So if there's like a river or something, like that can be something that can be really peaceful and help still the mind a lot too. But just a reminder that at the beginning, this is actually a really difficult thing to do for people who have anxiety. The racing thoughts, it's a real thing. And imagine, for those who don't have anxiety, imagine that like a really annoying kind of music, which for me would be like rap or even just static, is constantly playing all the time, and you don't have the ability to shut it off, and you just have to live with it, and it's just on all the time. That's kind of what it's like, and it's kind of rough. So just some tips, just a reminder that you can learn to do this. You can become an expert and a master, stilling your thoughts and your mind, getting into your body, becoming more aware. And I just have so much faith in you that you can do that, and you can support your loved ones if that's what they need as well. And thanks so much again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.